I threw like 4 day parties.
All right, let's take that back. I definitely went to your day party.
Okay.
All right, I forgot about those. You know you do a lot of stuff. You know that, like you actually are.
I do. I do.
See,
I'm glad you noticed. At least somebody noticed. You know what I'm saying?
Stay busy, my boy.
Try to bring a couple dollars anywhere I can, man.
Hey, man, more than me, right?
I wish.
All right, man. I think it's the perfect time to introduce the show. Welcome, guys, to Tech Talk Tuesday. We're here to give you knowledge and source information in today's society. Today, guys, I have my good friend. He is a well-rounded individual. He's very intelligent when it comes to clothing, fashion. He's been in this industry for a few years now, and I want to properly introduce my friend Marvin.
Appreciate you, my brother. Happy to be here, man. Appreciate
Yes,
that. That was a good intro. I like that.
Absolutely. You know, I try to make sure that my guests feel comfortable and show their appreciation. I want to thank you for coming on my show today.
No problem, bro. I appreciate you, man.
Absolutely. So let's get into it. Your industry. What inspired you to start your business?
Yeah. So I'm gonna be honest. I tell this story like when anybody asks me, I tell this story a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I've always been one of fashion. You know what I'm saying? Putting on clothes was easy. Buying shoes, putting stuff, coordinating stuff together was easy. But I never really had the confidence to kind of step out here and like build a brand. So the inspiration literally came from my village. Like my village was like, nah, we're gonna throw you out there and we're gonna push you out front. And whatever we gotta put in your hand to go be successful, we'll do that. But you have too much potential to not do it.
Yeah.
And so I would say my inspiration came from family.
Okay. So they kind of gave you the encouragement to do something?
Not even just the encouragement. I'm going to be honest. They initially funded the brand.
Okay.
Initially, they were the ones that say, hey, this is how much this costs? Here, you got it. So or you need to get here. All right, bet. Let's go do it.
Why clothing, though? Like, you could have did anything, but you decided to go with clothing.
So I think when anyone wants to start a brand, they want to start with something that's, one, interesting to them, and two, that it's easily to be passionate about.
Okay.
And it also adds a small piece to it when like you can make money off loving what you do.
Yeah, absolutely.
So me loving clothes, fashion, merchandise, it makes my day to day, week to week, month to month, year to year, like it makes it so much easier.
Okay. So when it comes to your business, I know that you are purchasing things in your business. What are some things that you are purchasing now rather than you didn't purchase when you first started?
Okay, so now it's like, we had a conversation off camera. I get like content creation stuff now. Like I got lighting in the house. I got a fake grass wall in the house. Like I got stands for phone props. Like I really have stuff now where I can check off everything off the list and make sure like my brand can grow in other avenues of just selling clothes.
Okay, you didn't have that stuff when you first started.
I didn't have that stuff before.
Okay, well now I want to stay in like when you first started. How did you balance like the business life and the personal life? And when I say balance, I mean like your time. How did you balance your time?
So I would say I probably didn't do a good job of balancing time when I first started, because I would be at work. Of course, I have a 9 to 5, so I probably was fulfilling orders while I'm at my 9 to 5 job some days, or I could be late to work because I'm dropping orders off at the post office. Okay. Or I'm leaving work in order to fulfill an event that someone has asked me to attend. So it probably wasn't a good balance at first, but now that I'm a few years in, I'm able to kind of coordinate my calendar a lot better now. Okay.
So what are some things you stopped doing to take your business seriously?
I stopped necessarily wasting my time.
That's a coincidence.
You know what I'm saying? I weigh heavily on how serious people take their brand.
Yeah.
And sometimes I kind of just was saying yes to anything. So now I find it, if like say for instance, of course, you asked me to do this without hesitation, I was here. Because one, we've done business together before, so I know how serious you take your brand, your money, and your time. So who am I to say like I wouldn't take this serious as well?
Yeah, especially for yourself.
For sure.
That's what's up. That's what's up. So, your name of your business. I know the name of your business, but can you tell our viewers the name of your business?
Talk to me about money. As you can see, I have this nice, beautiful T-shirt on. Talk to me about money is the name of my brand that I started in 2021.
Talk to me about money. Shoot, man, I want to talk to you because I definitely want to know a few things about just that name. Like, how did you come up with that name?
So it's kind of funny. It's like so many avenues I could take this, but when I was in high school, I think around freshman year, around that time, and everybody was looking at buying shoes.
Yeah.
It don't matter if we was going to Foot Locker, DTLR, Sneaker Con. You know what I'm saying? We were if it's a pair of shoes that we wanted, we was gonna find a way to get it.
Absolutely.
And I also grew up in a time where I'm gonna go out and get some money. Like I'm gonna cut some grass. I'm gonna shovel the neighborhood snow. You know what I'm saying? Whatever I gotta do. Mom said, "Oh yeah, I give you $20 if you do this and that." I'm gonna go ahead and do this and that.
Okay.
So when it came to high school, I always found a way to get some money, and that's kind of where my name stuck. Like people started calling me Money Marvin, and then me in school in college, it kind of just went through that. It just didn't stop.
Okay.
So when it came to me sitting down and trying to put something together for the brand, I couldn't think of like something that I could name it where it wasn't cliche. Like I didn't want to put my name in it. I didn't want to put something that like didn't catch, or when you heard it didn't ring bells.
Yeah.
So I was around family. Sometimes we was riding in a car, and we were just talking, like throwing ideas. Just saying, you with your men, sometimes you throw ideas back and forth.
Exactly.
And one of my line brothers was like, I don't know where it came from, bro. Ant was just like, talk to me about money. And like when he said it, I was like, oh yeah, we about to
be on the side.
We might be on something. And I never hesitated after that.
Yeah.
And I took it, and here I am.
Man, I definitely admire like your whole brand. So
I appreciate you.
I want to ask you, what's been your most expensive purchase in your business so far?
Most expensive purchase. So I would say the most expensive thing outside of buying, items in bulk is the shipping fees.
What do you shipping fees like?
So many people don't understand, like when you have a manufacturer. My manufacturer is in China.
You manufacture. Why you need a manufacturer? To the people who don't understand why you need a manufacturer.
So many people when they go to start a brand, they might go and buy a bulk of Gildan t-shirts and maybe screen print their logo on something.
Yeah.
I was going for a more fashionable direction.
Okay.
I don't use Gildan t-shirts. I very rarely even do screen printing.
Okay.
So for me to get the most bang for my buck, it was smarter for me to venture out overseas to find a manufacturer that could, one, do what I need them to do accurately, as in design. Well, I'll design my clothes, but I need you to tell me what you can and can't do.
Okay.
And so you can go, many people don't know, you can go overseas in China or Pakistan, and you could get 100, a bulk order of 100 t-shirts for $7, $8 a piece. When in retrospect, you could do it in the United States, but you're going to pay maybe $14, $15. Okay. And also building that relationship over there, you get kind of an easier deal with people over there, because one, the revenue that they get isn't the same as someone over here in the United States, where they're easily getting traction, or people are coming in just buying blank t-shirts, blank hoodies, and stuff like that.
So would you say the demand is higher over there? Or
Absolutely.
Okay.
Because I've never been to China, so I don't know what their business looks like.
Yeah. I
know what their warehouses look like, so I know that they are pushing out 1,000 item orders.
Jeez.
So like
some of yours, of course.
Actually, I wish I was putting out 1,000 item orders, but I will say the demand over there is probably a lot higher, especially for someone who is looking to spend all year round. Like some people might go and say, okay, I'll get 50 t-shirts from you today, and you might not hear from me again. I've been consistently with my manufacturer probably now for 2.5 years now.
Okay, so
like she follows me on Instagram, which is like crazy.
Hey, that's sweet.
Yeah,
you guys have a good relationship.
Yeah, something like that.
So when it comes to the negotiation side of things, do you come in with an approach of like, I take what your number is, and then you kind of like fall back and do your own assessment, or do you have your own numbers and you look for somebody to meet your numbers?
So it's kind of hard when in my circumstance sometimes, or let's say, and when you first start, it's kind of hard to negotiate when I don't have anything to negotiate with.
Oh.
So in the beginning, it was like she gave me the number,
yeah,
and I just had to go with it.
Okay.
Now that we've built this relationship and she knows that I'm gonna come back, I'm gonna buy 3, 4, 5, 6 bulk orders in a year.
Yeah.
She's not gonna be so reluctant to say I gotta get as much money out of him on this order as possible.
Okay.
So now that we built this relationship, I can say I can negotiate a little bit.
You got a little leeway, a little leverage, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. a little bit,
not too much.
For sure.
Okay, so I know that you are purchasing items from your manufacturers. How you document all this stuff? And let's just not even talk about so much your inventory, but even the in-house stuff. Like you say you have your lights and other administrative expenses. How do you keep track of all this stuff? Like, do you keep documentation of this?
So yes, I'm really big on keeping receipts. I'm really big on filing like the appropriate taxes and all of that paperwork to follow up what I've spent during a calendar year. So when I spend all of this money on content creation and lights and things of that nature, it doesn't come out of my pocket anymore. This is brand funded money that funnels back into the brand to kind of push the brand even further.
Wow, how important is that to use money that's already in the brand instead of like keep on and contributing into the brand? Because
I will say I still will, if I want to up an order or something, I might sometimes put a couple like personal dollars into the brand.
Yeah.
But it gets exhausting when you look up and say, okay, 3 months out of the year, I got to put an extra $450 in my brand. That adds up. You know what I'm saying? You're taking money that you could go to Turks and Caicos or something. That money is taken away from you in your personal life. So at some point, yes, you might have to start out by doing that.
Yeah.
But it's very important to, create that business account, get your taxes in order, EINs, LLCs, and separate that from yourself.
Yeah.
In order for you to kind of keep that money just rolling back until you can then take that money and invest it in something bigger.
Absolutely. I think it's big that you're doing that because it builds your equity. A lot of times companies are funneling money back into their business, but they're not realizing what's the importance of it. The importance of it is that you're putting equity into your business. Like that $300, that $200, that stuff adds up because I'm not saying that you would like to sell your business, but if you did, when you put up the numbers, you can show them, this is how much I put into this business.
Yeah.
And then you can also show them the income for the profit that you had in the business. So all that stuff matters when it comes to selling. So I just wanted to put that out there.
I agree.
So, some other expenses. Do you think that you spend more money on supplies, payroll, or what do you think you spend your most money on? I know I asked you what was your most expensive purchase, but
right.
On a day-to-day basis, what do you think you spend most of your money on? I narrowed it down to supplies and payroll because essentially those usually are the most important, the most expensive things.
Yeah. So I will say I'll answer both parts of the question. So I will say when it comes to payroll, I've never paid myself from the brand.
Oh, so all distributions?
Yeah, I've never paid myself. I will say I might have, used my brand for a dinner or a get together, but then again, that's another business expense that I'm writing off for my taxes to keep those receipts. So I've never paid myself for an event. I've never paid myself off of money that I made off the brand. This is not something that I look to do. Like I said, that money is going to keep rolling over in itself. In order for me to achieve my bigger plans later down the line.
Okay.
So I would say the most money that I've probably spent would have to be on supplies, on packaging and and I guess aesthetics of the brand, shipping materials, even travel, like all of that, probably added up to be probably my highest expense.
Okay. So I understand that you don't pay yourself, but let's talk about your industry a little bit.
Mhm.
How do people use employees to their advantage in your industry?
In my industry, it probably is. It's just it boils down to networking. I hire an employee, one that takes some of the workload off of me, but two, that's another branch for them to promote, sell the brand as well. As many people that you can have under your umbrella to successfully run your business and it makes sense, I say do it. Like if you have people that are looking to join your team, that's another avenue for you to meet somebody that you haven't met before, or for your brand to get pushed another avenue that you wouldn't have the opportunity outside of that person.
Right, you sound like you're a risk taker.
Oh, absolutely. I for sure have taken some risks in this brand. I've messed up. I failed, but I don't care. I'm doing it again.
Now, you say you failed. What are some things that you feel like have been the most difficult or challenges? Some of your most difficult challenges that you faced in your business or in the industry itself?
So when it comes to fashion, it's always a chance where you put out something that might not hit the way you think or you thought it should have.
What do you mean?
So you could put together a t-shirt, shorts, socks, hat, hoodie, whatever it is, and you think, oh no, this is it. You know what I'm saying? I know that the fans gonna love this, and you go to put it out, and nobody likes it. Well, I wouldn't say nobody, but it's slim to in comparison how your other items have done.
Okay.
So it is important to know that there is a chance that your vision might not be the same for everybody.
Okay.
So I will say that part right there is something I had to kind of come to grips with sometimes.
So are you saying that it's challenging when you have an idea for a line that you want to put out and it doesn't get the feedback that you expected or the traction that you was expecting?
Yes, or maybe the traction is fast. Like I might say, because I've actually had the privilege of releasing items that many people like.
Yeah. Yeah, I have a few.
Yeah. And I still to this day I appreciate you.
Absolutely.
You always let me know that you do like my items. But
great material, guys. It's like I'm just pause for what you were saying. You know how we was talking about manufacture. This guy, the quality of his t-shirts. You know how sometimes you may have like a tank top under your shirt and you can sing the TikTok to the front of the shirt. You'll never know what's under your first shirt. It's just how thick the material is.
I appreciate
it. But get back to it. Man.
I appreciate it. That was a great shameless plug right there. I appreciate that.
Some of your biggest challenges. When you look at the challenges that you've been in since you started your business, how have those challenges affected your business? Like I understand that you've gone through them and you got past it, but how did it affect you?
Okay, so I would say some of my biggest challenges probably would be not rushing. Sometimes I get so excited when I get a put together an item or I have something that I design and I want to get it out because I feel as though everybody's gonna love it. I would say the challenge is for me to tell myself to slow down. I've been able to kind of have conversations with myself to be like, yo, you're gonna be able to do this for a long time. This is not something that I'm gonna have to look up in 5 years and be like, whoa, I don't have any more clientele. Nobody supports my brand. People don't like my items anymore. Now I think I'll be able to do this for 10, 20, 30 years. You know what I'm saying? Not saying that I won't do other things, but I feel as though I'll be able to do this for a long time. So my challenge is being able to tell myself to be patient. Sometimes things might not go the way I plan for them to go for a season, but the next season comes around and something clicks and something happens. So my biggest challenge is me not rushing the success of my brand.
Any of those challenges force you to cut down on expenses?
Oh yeah. There's times where I want to release 100 t-shirts or I want to release 150 hoodies, but I only will do 45. And then when those are gone, then I can go and say, okay, now I can go get 55 more, or I can go get 100 now based off what just happened. But for sure, those challenges of me not trying to to rush into things or do too much, as we say. It has caused me to kind of downsize on my releases.
Okay, no, that's understandable. Like I think they should definitely only market yourself to the people that want your clothes.
Yeah.
So if you know that this amount of people actually know about your business, why would you go beyond that scope?
Yeah. Because then you lose your money.
Absolutely. So how do you get your business to the next level then?
That's a great question. Now I have to get into avenues that I might feel uncomfortable. I'm going to, was it this year? What are we in? April? I think this year was the first year I was a part of a fashion show. And I will say, with that being my first time, I was super uncomfortable.
Comfortable. You do fashion, like you're literally there for the purpose of the show. So how are you comfortable?
So just to put it in perspective, you are really well versed in the tax world.
Yes, sir.
The first time you did taxes, where somebody paid you to do your taxes, were you nervous?
Was I nervous? I don't. I see. The thing is, I assist people with their taxes. I don't necessarily do them for them.
Okay.
I assist them. So essentially, I give them like the right publications and the right information to use to actually file their own taxes. But the first time I did help someone, I was extremely nervous. But it's for reasons of like you don't know how people are gonna react to your service.
Yes.
Like I'm also nervous about people's reactions. Not so much that like I don't know the information. I've studied it. This is actually sourced, so that's not the problem. I was big on reactions, like how are you gonna feel about me after I get done talking to them?
I can agree with that.
And then from there, I just had to just kind of not care, because
that's big too.
It's so many people that you talk to. Some will be good, some will be bad, and you gotta just have this unbiasedness about you and just kind of roll with the punches. Honestly, criticism is good. And it's good to take in criticism, but it's also good when to know to even accept criticism. And I only say that because we're human. Our minds are going to go in different directions when we hear certain things. So if you're not able to control your own space and your own mind, so people can't bring in ideas or bring in negativity, then you're going to force yourself to be in a space that you are uncomfortable. And that's what I've been able to get myself out of. I've been able to remove myself from the idea of what I'm doing and just so I can be creative.
Yeah.
I'm trying to stay in a creative space all the time. So in order for me to maintain that, I have to separate myself from everything and not allow anything to manipulate what I'm doing. So just that's for me.
Okay. So I can relate to that because going into the fashion show, of course, I know how this is going to go. I've researched fashion shows and models and how this works and the next steps. So, of course, I knew what I was going to do. I was confident in myself. But like you said, it being my first time, I was kind of reluctant to see this whole new audience of people who are going to receive my creativity, my love. This is my baby, you know what I'm saying? And I'm releasing it to you, not knowing how you're going to react or what you're going to say. So that's probably why I was nervous, because I just wanted to feel the room, feel my passion, and they kind of give it back to me. And reluctantly, that's what happened. I got standing ovations. People took pictures, videos. Strangers told me that they came out of state to see this. And they just were trying to buy items that were out of stock. They were trying to buy clothes off my back, one pieces. It was great. So I will say that was probably one of the best experiences. So to go back to your question, to propel my brand to the next stage or the next step, I have to get back to being uncomfortable.
Okay, that's a good one.
Yeah,
that's a really good one. Honestly. You come up with new stuff or new ideas when you're uncomfortable. Yeah. If you're comfortable, you already know how everything works. I've been doing it. It's everything straight. Yep. When you're uncomfortable, you're forcing yourself to come up with something different. Mm-hmm. I like that. So would you do another fashion show before I move on?
Absolutely.
You would do another one?
No hesitation.
Okay. Would you host one? To bring in, would you do a group type of fashion show?
It's funny that you say that.
You would do that?
I actually am.
You actually are.
This
This is an exclusive. This is an exclusive right here from this right here from Tech Talk Tuesday. Talk to you about money is hosting a fashion show. This is an exclusive.
Yes.
Go ahead.
So I haven't gotten all of the legs to the table put together yet.
Okay.
But because that fashion show made me feel so good. So I was just on a high for days after that.
Okay.
I have to do my own. I have to. So yes, I'm not saying it will be next week this year, but Talk to Me About Money will host a fashion show. Yes.
Okay. Now, I want to ask you, do you think your industry is a profitable one? Like, I understand that you do make money, but you think it's a profitable one? Like, do you see the margins increasing? Like, how do you feel about that?
Yes, I do. Of course, with profit, you have to consider consistency because without consistency, the rollover isn't going to always be as steady as you want it to be.
Mm-hmm.
But with consistency, absolutely. I look at me being at my current state this year. We're in April.
Yep.
I've released over 150 hoodies.
Mm-hmm.
I'm working on my spring summer release now, and to think I wasn't always able to roll over items as fast as I am now.
When you say roll over items, what does that mean?
So I'll say this: there was an event that for my Founders Day in January,
mm-hmm.
where I just like flash saled a whole bunch of hoodies. I had some royal blue, big money hoodies that I had. And I just flash saled them. I had 35. If you had to guess how many I sold in 15 minutes, how would you?
I'm going to go with 30.
I sold 35 hoodies in 15 minutes.
In 15 minutes?
15 minutes. I told one of the DJs, hey, at this time, make an announcement. This is where I'm going to be. He cued it.
Mm-hmm.
Half the party left out of the club to come meet me in the parking lot.
That's called power. I just want to let you know, that's called power. And what they say, if you enter the Marvel world with great power comes great responsibility.
Great responsibility for
honestly,
sure.
And that's what you have, man. I hope you realize that. And I hope that you're using your power to push your brand. Like, don't just allow yourself to have this power and just be willy-nilly, even though you're not. But I just want to remind you that you do have that power.
Yeah. I appreciate that because sometimes I do kind of got to snap back into it to say, no, you're doing well, you're doing okay. People appreciate your brand. People like it. People support you. So I do. Thank you. I do need to hear that sometimes. So yes, for sure. So I have a good friend, Moses Andre. He is in.
Shout out Moses.
Shout out Moses. He's in New Jersey. Prophecy clothing brand in New Jersey. He's been doing this for a while now. Great guy. We've probably been friends since 2018, 2019 maybe.
That's a long time.
Yeah. So he started doing this, a lot longer before I did. So he's giving me encouragement. He's been telling me rights, wrongs, do's, don'ts. He's a really good brother. So he'll call me and just say, what you just did, I couldn't do.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So great guy, great pieces. I have so many items from his closet. From his brand. So yes, I gained inspiration from him. A good brother, Shek, with Swavora Clothing.
Okay, shout out Shek.
Shout out Shek. Appreciate you, my brother. We kick it as much times as I can. I haven't seen you in a while, my brother, but thank you for your brand. Thank you for your positivity. Shek has a Swavora brand on Instagram. He was he went to Towson University. Now I've seen people overseas. I see him making music in England.
Mm-hmm.
I see he had a one weekend he was able to host his brand in Tyson's Corner. I'm looking at some of the things he's doing. He's making jewelry. I'm just looking at some of the stuff he's doing. And I'm just like, one day, God willing, I'll be able to check some of that stuff off my list as well. So shout out Moses, shout out Shek. Appreciate both of y'all.
All right. Let's shift gears a little bit. How do you stay up to date on news in your industry? Like like maybe a nice fabric. I don't feel like they could invent a new fabric, but different ideas. Right now the trendy thing is big shirts,
Yeah.
big pants type of thing. So how do you stay up to date on like news in your industry?
So me, I always call Twitter my morning newspaper. I most people wake up and check their messages, check Instagram, see what they miss. But I use my social media in order for me to keep up with stuff that I'm interested in. My algorithm is probably insane. So like the amount of stuff that I kind of keep up with, not only like I go and search it myself, but my Twitter and Instagram are kind of keep me up to date on new strategies, marketing. I guess the new styles that have not made it to us yet, but they're in New York, they're overseas,
Okay.
you know what I'm saying, and they just haven't translated over here yet. I'm looking at people that are making strides with content. I'm looking at people that are making strides with DC Fashion Week or New York Fashion Week and all of this like new wave of fashion that we have. So I would say me just staying in tune to, I know this probably sounds crazy, my phone is what kind of keeps me up to date with like new styles and fashion. And sometimes it's just me. Like sometimes I wake up and say I haven't seen this, but I like it, so I'm gonna put this fit on today and just go out and see what people say.
Okay, so do you trial and error with your own clothes?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely,
Just to see what people like.
absolutely. Like I don't know if you saw me when I walked in. You see the fit that I have on now. I have a neon yellow and navy blue hat that goes on the top of what I have on right now.
Really?
Yeah, I swear to God, like I really would try some stuff to just be like, all right, I'm gonna see what comments I get, or I'm gonna take this picture and post it on my story. Everybody won't see it, but I'm gonna see what kind of feedback. Cause negative and positive feedback is kind of what I thrive off of now. Of course, I'm gonna put out what I want, you know what I'm saying? But positive and negative feedback is kind of what I look for in all of my fashion.
Why negative feedback?
Cause it's also good to know like what people do and don't like. So if somebody tells like first, like you said earlier in our conversation, I gotta get to a point where I don't care what you say, but I always listen. Like even if you're telling me something you don't like, or you're telling me, add this, or you should have done this, or I think I would have liked that better. At first when I first started, I would really be like, damn, like I lost a customer.
Mm-hmm.
But now I've gotten to the point where, like you said, like I didn't ask you. Like I appreciate you giving me your opinion, but I didn't necessarily ask you, okay, what should I do next time so you like it?
Yeah.
It's just you felt the need to tell me. Okay, thanks.
I feel like when you do take into consideration of a negative feedback, you may lose them as a client, but at the same time, they are making you better for your next client.
Yep, absolutely.
Like that, there's so many times where I have had a service with a client or a relationship with a client, and it ended, and I looked at it like, wow, what did I do wrong? And once I assessed what I've done wrong, I looked at like, okay, now I'm even better for the next person.
Yep.
Instead of trying to figure out like, dang, how can I get them back? Why am I worried about getting somebody back? I'm only going forward.
Yeah.
So that forward thinking has made me like just be in this space to just like take what someone says and just be better for the next person.
Yep.
That's all it is.
Business is full of trial and error, bro.
Yeah.
That's really.
Absolutely. If you're trying.
If you're trying, because if you're not trying, you're just failing.
Wow. Yeah, can we get a can we get that written down somewhere? All right. I want to ask you. So, how difficult is it for people to get in your industry?
I think it's actually really easy.
You think it's easy?
I do. I think it's really easy to start a brand,
Okay.
a clothing brand, I should say.
Yeah.
It's hard to keep going. It's hard to grow. But it's really easy for you, like I said earlier, for you to go buy 20, 30 t-shirts, put your logo on it and say, I'm a fashion designer. It's really easy to do that.
Mm-hmm.
But if you can't consistently do something where you're improvising, you're doing shows, you're getting better each year, you're learning, you're creating, you're not just seeing what people put on Instagram and you take that and just put your logo on it to think you're gonna make some money off of it. No, you're actually sitting down and designing what you like. You know, you might get some inspiration, but it's really easy for somebody to just kind of start a clothing brand.
Would you say your business is purpose driven or money driven?
Purpose.
Purpose. Okay.
Yeah, because like I said before, I've never paid myself.
Right.
So like I've never.
You're right.
I've never seen. I've never. You know, like I said, I might have gone out to dinner, but again, that money is a tax write-off. So like that's not necessarily something where I say every day I wake up to see how much money I'm gonna make off of an item that I release. I really do this for a reason. Like there's next levels that I want to get to.
Those next levels. Let's say next 5 years. What do you see yourself? What do you see your business?
Okay. Well, within the next 5 years, I absolutely would love to say I participated in DC Fashion Week within the next 5 years.
Okay.
I also would love to say I have my own photography studio, or like maybe not photography. It could be content creation studio. I just want my own studio within the next 5 years. By the time I'm 30, I want to say by the time I'm 30, I want both. So the next 3 years, within the next 3 years, I want to say I participated in DC Fashion Week. I have my own studio, and I want to say like I've upscaled my business. No, so instead of maybe this year when I release 100 hoodies or 100 t-shirts, within the next 3 years, I want to be able to say I've upscaled to 200, 250. I want to get my numbers up. So. Those are my 3 next goals within the next, like you said, 5 years.
And what's holding you back from doing that maybe this year? If DC, I don't know if DC Fashion Week has passed yet.
So DC Fashion Week did pass.
Okay, so that eliminates that. Okay,
yes. But
well, maybe next year. What's holding you back from getting on there next year?
Next year, I'm actually going to send in my application next year. Next year will be my first year ever sending in an application. So yes, that is something that I will do. But what's holding me back from finding a studio that I like, or it's just opportunity. I guess being able to switch gears, being able to, take some of the money that I've now made with merchandise and clothing, and being able to invest it somewhere else, and not, robbing Peter to pay Paul. I want to be able to say, if I take this money and do this, my left hand still got money in it. So just being able to prioritize everything and make the right decision when I think it's feasible for the brand, not just me being anxious or ready to do it right now.
You ever consider relocating?
I would only relocate, if the money was calling. If there was some sort of opportunity somewhere.
You talk to people about money, so I know that ain't gonna be too hard for you.
I would say if some opportunity came up where I don't know, like I just don't. If it was something where it would not be smart for me to turn it down, and they said we need you in Houston, we need you in California, Chicago, Atlanta, New Orleans, I that would be the only reason for me to relocate. I feel as though home is kind of where I've gained so much inspiration. My family, the fan base, supporters, not all, but originated from here. So I feel as though if I did that, I don't want to feel like I would be starting over. But I would have to be at a certain point to feel like home would still support me even if I wasn't here.
I'm pretty sure they will.
I would love to think so.
I'm pretty sure they will. You sound like you're a busy man. You sound like you do everything when it comes to your business. Sound like you from the write up to the exchange of the invoice. You do it all. What is it going to take for your business to run without you being present?
Oof. My business would run the same if I am not hands on.
But that's the point of the question. Is for you to what do you need in place? Like what procedures need to be in place? What needs to be done for you not to be present? Because honestly, Marvin, I don't look at you as a worker. I look at you as an owner. I look at you as someone who's gonna go out here and find the deals to get your brand in the foreign states or different country and stuff like that. So that's why I see you. So all this day-to-day stuff that you're doing with facilitating your inventory. Yeah, I just see more from you. Like you sound like a worker.
Yeah, so I thank you for that. I do. I appreciate that for sure. I guess it comes down to trusting people to fulfill the same love and passion for what I've built in them, like in the employees that I would potentially hire. I would have to see, I guess, their drive for community or their drive for philanthropy, fashion, or just like excelling in any way that you are in this brand. I need you to excel as best as possible. So I feel as though it would come down to me just having to make the right decisions and also being able to let them know how things properly run. Um, I look at it as I was able to put together the brand by doing it this way. But if you come to me with an opportunity to say, hey, I think this could run a lot better if we do X, Y, Z, A, B, C, I'm always going to listen.
Yeah.
So I just think it comes down to me trusting and having an opportunity to have like-minded people to work with.
Okay. All right. That's a good answer. That's a good answer. Oh, I want to kind of like shift gears another page. Do you see yourself like on television or like major commercials? And I know the audience gonna love you on this, but how do you like maybe like the Super Bowl or anything like that? Like,
I would love to because I actually went I got a communications degree in school, so like I've dealt with cameras, being behind the camera, in front of the camera, on the radio, on the microphone. So I wouldn't mind. A lot of people that know me, I can be a little theatrical, or you know what I'm saying, I could be extra. So if those opportunities arise where I could promote the brand when I'm on TV or on commercials or recorded podcasts like this, I would do it. Like with no hesitation, I would do it for sure.
okay, all right. Excuse me. How do you push yourself to be better?
To not settle. Many people see the brand now and they think, I've done such a great job, or they love what I'm doing or where I've come and where I'm at now. I don't want to feel comfortable with what I've done yet. Everything that I have, I write down I have this like business book that I have where I have everything that I've ever planned out is written down. I literally brought it with me. So I have things that I need to achieve that like I won't just let myself not do it.
Yeah.
So that is going to help me kind of make those next steps, to be great.
Okay. Now, I don't want to hold you up too much longer. I know you're a busy man, but I have one more question for you.
I got you.
So, if someone offered you an opportunity to invest in your business, would you give them equity, or would you give them profit share?
They getting profit share.
They get profit share? Why you say profit share?
Well, me, for a fact, I just bought my first house last year.
Yeah. So
last year, I was able to fully understand the word equity and what it means and how important that is. Because of course, we're not talking about that. That is another business venture that I'm actually going to get into. But I can't give nobody no equity. I even feel crazy saying that I'm gonna give him or her a part of my brand. But I would rather give that person a piece where they'll be in the room, a part of the negotiation, a part of the production. But that equity, that hard cash, that money in my hand, I need that. I'm sorry.
I understand. And you already have it. So
yeah,
you already have it. My comment on what you just said is you bought the house, and so you understand that you have value in your house, and you put money into the purchase of your house. So you sell the house, you're essentially selling the equity as well.
Yes.
So with your business, what if someone came to you with more money than you had already?
And they're trying to give it to me?
Trying to invest, partnership, or possibly, more stake in the business.
More stake, as in like they get 51% and I get 49%?
Yeah, but again, that's in the situation of them having. So, say if your business is worth $1 million, and this $2 million company is saying we want to partner with you, you allow it. So, I have no problem with you standing on the profit share. But I just want to get your understanding of it all. That's all.
So, yes, money is very important. Someone came to me and said they had $1 million, $2 million, and they're trying to invest in what I have.
And you're already a millionaire for your fucking business.
Oh, I'm already a millionaire?
Yeah, so we can do small bases. You could say you're worth 10,000. Someone come with you with 20,000. Okay. Like just like the mindset, like they have more. So what are you willing to offer?
No, they can for sure. Yes, I will say if they wanted profit share percentages, we can discuss that. But if it comes to me selling half my company, no. We can't do that. I've worked too hard to get to where I am. Again, I can make some things profitable for you, like in our negotiations, in our contract.
Yeah.
You will have percentages.
Yeah.
But when it comes to you, now me having to answer to you or something along those lines.
Yeah.
Sorry, I can't do that.
I respect that. And that's good because again, everybody look at it differently. Some people look at it as like, oh, my business is here. Now my business is here since I collab with them.
Yep.
And that's just what it is.
That's what it is.
That's what it is. But then there's other situations where like, okay, we're just going to use your money to make more money.
Yes.
And that's all it is too.
That's all it is.
So it's two different sides. Marvin, thank you. I appreciate your time today.
Appreciate you, my brother. This was fun.
Absolutely, man.
Thank you.
I hope that you have an opportunity to come on the show again.
Hey, next invite, I'm here. I might have a couple more people with me next time.
Okay, I can't wait.
Let's do it, man.
Guys, appreciate you.
Appreciate you.